He's got more than enough water for his Marae Kakahol farm, but Mike Glazebrook is offering to expand his dam to help others out. The increase in size will help provide water for other farmers on the Heretaunga Plains by storing river water at times of plenty to be released in times of need.
It's a relatively short dam wall to create quite a lot of storage, and we're also lucky that we're below the river level here, so it's easy enough to run the river into it and yet remain above the Heretaunga Plains where the water needs to end up.
His dam can be increased to hold 5 million cubic metres, almost tripling the lake size and preventing irrigation restrictions during droughts.
Well, it just seems to be a solution that is here that fits the problem. So I've been involved on these collaborative stakeholder groups looking at the water issues addressing the Heretaunga Plains for a number of years now, and it just seems to me that this is a potential solution.
What happened in Tank was that early on we realized that the Heretaunga aquifer was fully allocated and that any new growth economically in the region would have to come from new water somewhere. And at the same time, even at existing levels, we were having some negative environmental consequences, so those had to be dealt with as well. And so 2 years ago, that group unanimously agreed to put a cap on all new water consents, all new water takes on the Heretaunga Plains. So where do you go from there? What our staff has estimated is that in a dry year, maybe 5 million cubes or so of water would be needed to be able to maintain current takes for irrigation purposes. And so the ability of relatively small scale schemes like this one to meet that need becomes pretty interesting.
But Glazebrook's water storage community offering gets better. A Stage 2 proposal would link with another dam he has beside the nzherald River, about 5 kilometres away. Together, they could increase capacity to more than 10 million cubic metres. Spring-fed, it sits above the nzherald, but could capture its water when the river is high.
And that should be enough to keep existing irrigators going. It also frees up some water for some unirrigated land, including quite a large area of iwi land that currently doesn't have access to water, and a few other people have been waiting for water for some time but now are unable to get it due to the moratorium on any further water takes on the Heretaunga Plains.
Glazebrook has himself paid for a feasibility study and recently lodged a resource consent with the Hawke's Bay Regional Council. It's good timing. The council has been allocated $14 million to look at water storage projects on the Heretaunga Plains from the Provincial Growth Fund.
This, I would have to say, would have to be at the top of the list simply because Mike has done all this legwork. It's been exposed to quite a few stakeholders over the last few years as part of the Tank process. And people have, I think, walked away from their site visits and Mike's presentations saying, "Hell, this makes a lot of sense." You know, from a 50,000 foot level, it looks like a really attractive proposition.
Glazebrook is coy about the cost of the project, but there's nothing in it for him. He'd just hand over his dams to be administered by the Hawke's Bay Regional Council. Patrick O'Sullivan, Local Focus.